back on this Halloween day. Let's get some stuff in. So we're 2 hours from the trading deadline. I don't think the Jets are involved in anything, of course. And although there's rumors the Giants could pair off maybe one of their unhappy players, of which they have a couple, I don't see them doing it. And I'm not talking about Eli, of course. It was a no trade and a massive salary cap hit for somebody. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, maybe a Rogers Cromartie kind of guy, that kind of thing. Mike in New Jersey. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, what's happening?
Not much. I just want to say, first off, I'm super excited to see you in 2 weeks. I'm going to a night to remember with a couple buddies.
Oh, good.
We're very pumped up. Hopefully get a picture with you or something like that. That would be great.
I don't know about that night. That's a little big crowd. I don't know about pictures that night. I don't know if that's going to be, usually it's okay, but I think this night it might be a little tough, but we'll see what happens. Only because it's like 2,500 people. It's a pretty big building.
Yeah, well, regardless, we're all excited.
Good.
So I can't wait.
Good.
But, as a 49er fan, I just wanted to bring up the Garoppolo trade.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he's going to have 6 games to audition. They'll throw him in after the bye week. And my question to you is, if he does look shaky, what do you think there's a better chance of them still trying to work out a long-term deal, or do you think they maybe slap the franchise tag on him for next year and let him audition for another year?
See, I wouldn't treat him that way. I mean, if Lynch is as smart as I think he is, and I'm going to go on the premise that Shanahan had a lot of input into the quarterback he wanted, okay? I think that they targeted this guy figuring, you know what, this is a guy we can live with and work with for a long time. Pats did not want to get rid of this player. They love this player. They tried to sign him, but they don't have any cap room, and they couldn't come up with a number he would agree to sign. So, eventually they had to give him away, and considering that, he's a free agent in half a season, even though what they got is impressive, considering he's only got, that's all he's got left with free agency. So the Niners are under the gun here. They gave up what is virtually a first-round pick for a guy that they only have for a short time unless they sign him. Now, the Niners have a ton of money under the cap. So I would sign him. I would think he's your guy. I think you should be committed to this guy. He's the real thing. This is a guy you can win with. This is a guy you can use and play with and turn him into a really good quarterback for a long time. I would expect that to be the case, and for him to be comfortable there, committed there. If they do it that way, yes, they could franchise him next year and make him work for another year. I just don't like the whole atmosphere of that. I'd rather make a long-term commitment to him right now if it's me, because I believe in him. Now, I got to figure they traded for him, they believe in him. Maybe they don't. If they don't, well, then they might do it your way. I would do it the other way because I believe in the player. I would sign the player to a long-term deal right now and let him realize that we're working towards something together from day one. Shanahan and I are on the same page. We're working together, and this is it. This is my team. I'm now a Niner. We're building a great franchise. Here we go. And that's how I'd look at it. Brian in Wycliffe. Wyckoff, what's up, Brian?
Mike, good talking with you. I want to start off by saying, thank you for everything you've done. I listened to you for over 30 years and, got some bad news. My dad, a big sports fan, and hearing your voice just always brings me back to car rides when I was a kid with him.
Well,
so
good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Best wishes. Hopefully we'll hear your voice. I can always have those memories pop back up.
Thank you.
On this, it feels weird talking sports now, but I want to take the Patriots perspective. Now, granted, I'm a Steelers fan, but this seems like a very dangerous trade because Brady at 40 still looks fantastic, but if he goes down, which
couldn't sign him, though. See, the problem is, here's what happened. They had to make a decision, and you knew they were going to get pushed one way or the other. Were they going to ever say goodbye to Tom? They got to the point where they said, we're not saying goodbye to Tom. And Tom now has shown them how much life he still has, plus they don't have the room under the cap, and they couldn't sign him. So they're going to lose Garoppolo for nothing because they tried to sign him. What we've been hearing is they tried to sign him to a contract, and they couldn't do it. And now you're going to lose him at the end of the season. He's going to walk. And they're not ready for Brady to say goodbye, and they're not ready to part ways with Brady. But Garoppolo's saying, I got to get on with my life, and also want to make some money because the last contract was a small one. So here he is now, and that's where we are. So to me, they did what they had to do at this point. And it allows them. First of all, they trade for a pick that they love. They love the value of that kind of pick, a pick that's in the high, that right at the top of the second round. They love. So that's number one. they still get something valuable for him. Yes, they don't have Brady protection now. They don't, but they've seen enough that Brady's still Brady, and he's talking about playing 5 more years. Now, I don't know if he can do it, but that's what he's talking about. So they'll go with a mortal backup, and if he goes down, they got a problem. Remember, the guy who got hurt was Garoppolo. Ezra in Brooklyn. What's up, Ezra?
Hi. So in Game 5 of the World Series,
right,
in the 9th inning, Puig touched the ball and hit a home run over the left field wall. It was very similar to a home run that Todd Frazier hit earlier. So I think it's obvious that, I don't know if it's this season or the World Series, but the balls are different. That being said, Kershaw basically gave up 1 home run, and if you listen to anybody that knows anything talking, Verlander is putting on a performance for the ages. He's going to be considered one of the best postseason aces, and then Kershaw solidifies himself as just a postseason failure. And I just think something's off with that.
Well, wait a second. Kershaw's given up 8 home runs this postseason. 8.
No,
Verlander hasn't been touched, and they're pitching with the same ball.
How many has Verlander given up?
8. No, Kershaw's given up 8.
How many has Verlander given up?
1 or 2, maybe 2.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah. So Verlander in the postseason. How many homers has Verlander given up in the postseason, guys? 2 home runs. I know he gave up 1. Has he given up more than 2? And Kershaw's given up 8. And Kershaw gave up 7.
Then that says it all.
Listen, Kershaw. Listen, they're pitching with the same ball, and Verlander, the most he's given up in the postseason is 3 runs. Kershaw gave 4 runs his first start on 4 solo homers. He pitched well he gave 2 runs in 5 innings in the Cub series. Verlander's given up 3, and Kershaw's given up 8. And Kershaw pitched great the first game of the series, then gave up 6 runs in the last game. He had nothing in the last game, Kershaw. He couldn't get that last out in the 5th inning. Could not get it. The walks are what killed him. The home run, listen, home runs will always kill you, but they kill you more when you walk a couple of guys in front of it. Pat and Pelham, what's up, Pat?
Hi, Mike. Hi. You were saying, and I agree that it'd be tough for the Astros to win a Game 7
Very hard.
in L.A. So
not impossible, though, because they have broken through. It's very hard when no one's broken through.
Don't you think they should start Verlander in a possible Game 7? See if they could win without him tonight and, save him for that 7th game?
Oh, no. No, God, why would you, why'd you not take 2 chances to win? Why would you go with someone else today and hold Verlander for a Game 7? You want to go with Verlander today and go for the kill and get it over with. Why would you wait? It makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Win the game. And if you lose, you still have a chance to win tomorrow. But, today you got a free game with Verlander. That's a good place to be. And I wouldn't call it just a free game because there are repercussions. They will be an underdog in Game 7. Right now, they're going to be favored to win the series because they only have to win 1 of 2 games. Tomorrow, they're going to have to win the 7th game after losing the 6th game where the Dodgers will pick up momentum, plus their bullpen's a nightmare. So it's going to be tough. Today is their chance. Brian in Woodbury, Connecticut. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Mike. First of all, I just wanted to thank you for all the years of just great
Appreciate
radio
it.
talk.
Thank you.
That's mainly what I wanted to call you
Thank
about.
You. Thank you.
Just, I was just wondering your take on, with the Patriots trading Garoppolo going to the Niners, how you think that's going to impact the Jets getting a quarterback this year?
I think it impacts the Jets a little bit because Garoppolo would have been one of the guys, if he was a free agent, the Jets would have been interested in.
Right.
So I think it impacts them that way.
Also in the draft, I was thinking as well.
Well, that's going to be interesting because it really depends on, where the Jets finish. It will really depend on that because the Niners most likely now are going to be out of the quarterback mix despite having a record where they'll be one of the top 3 picks. They probably will be looking to trade their pick. So somebody's going to be able to work their way up, and most likely someone who's going to be in the 5, 6, 7 range can get to where the Niners are and make a trade for the quarterback if they need it. So that's where the Niners probably will be out of the quarterback. They should be out of the quarterback market. I would think that would be the case because I would be surprised if they're not because first of all, I happen to be very high on Garoppolo. So I think he's going to be a very good player. Nick in West Caldwell. What's up, Nick?
Hey, Mike. The J.J. trade. I know the Eagles are 7-1, but I think this makes them a real contender this year.
Listen, they could use another back. I'd be much more impressed if they come away with a tackle they can play with, without because that's a big void. It's nice to have another back. It always is helpful. Ajay can run, so I think it does help. But I think the bigger thing would be if they could get someone to play at the tackle position. I don't think they'll be able to do that, but if they could, that would be a big positive. Timmy in Long Island, what's up, Timmy?
Hi, Mike.
Yes.
Question. What happens if Brady goes down in Week 12?
So be it. Listen. It's most teams don't have a good backup. What happened when Aaron Rodgers went down? I mean, most teams do not.
Yeah, but do they even have a backup?
Well, now they're going to sign Hoyer as their backup. So, but listen, now they're back in where everybody else is. They don't have a backup like that. They tried to sign him. They couldn't. Now the time was ticking. The trade deadline's today. If they didn't trade him by today, they weren't going to get anything for him at the end of the season because he's a free agent. He was going to leave. So he was ready to be a free agent anyway. Now they trade him. So now it's a Niners issue to get him signed by the end of the season because now he's a Niner. They got themselves a valuable pick for him, almost a first-round pick, because it'll be like the 34th or 35th pick in the draft, which is a great spot to be, and it's a very valuable pick, a pick that the Pats have coveted. Like they covet those top of the second-round picks. So that's a very key pick. So they got something of value for him. Now, they do run the risk if Brady gets hurt, but they've watched Brady perform, come to the conclusion he's not anywhere near being done. He's talking to them about wanting to play till he's 45. They decide, you know what? We're not going to trade off the star and go with the understudy. We're going to trade off the understudy as talented as we think he is, and that's what they did.
So they're just basically gambling on the fact that he doesn't get hurt.
But most teams are in that same place. Steve in Bayport. What's up, Steve?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking the call.
What's happening?
I just want to ask you, do you think that this Brady Belichick means that, I think that this Garoppolo trade means that Brady and Belichick are committed to going out together and that Belichick has no interest in growing another QB?
No, I don't buy that. I think it does mean, though, that they're looking more short term. But remember, they tried to sign Garoppolo. They couldn't. They don't have the wherewithal to do it. They didn't have the room under the cap, and Garoppolo's got them. He's a free agent, so they had no recourse. They couldn't keep him. There was no way for them to keep him. They couldn't come to a deal with him, and they had salary cap issues, so they couldn't sign him. There's not much they could do. Plus, Tom doesn't want to be pushed to the side, and I think they are surprised Tom's been this healthy and this good. I think they thought Tom was starting to slip, and obviously he's not. So I think they changed their way. They did try to sign him, though, supposedly. That's everything I heard was that they did try to sign him. Jerry and Rye, what's up, Jerry?
Hey, Mike, first of all, I'm going to really miss you, boy. I'll tell you, I go back a long way with you, so always thank you for taking my calls.
Thank you. What's up?
Okay. I want to get into this Tiger Woods. He's
returning on November 30th, yes.
Yeah, I really want to get your take on that.
I think it's an interesting thing. I'll put up one of the golf guys. We'll put up Brandel Chambly because I want to put Brandel up for this reason. He's been the most severe critic of Tiger coming back. He has been very severe critic. He does not think Tiger can play anymore. So now Tiger's coming back in a place where he doesn't have to qualify or anything. So that's a big positive. He gets to walk right in the door. Now Tiger gets to walk in the door in most places because he gets an exemption. But he doesn't have to show you any good golf before he plays in this. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
I mean, Tiger Woods changed the game. Could have been one of the all-time. Is still really.
Well, he is one. Listen, I think Tiger Woods is one of the all-time greatest. I don't think there's any question.
No question about it. But is he going to be able to come back from this injury?
I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to watch. But here's what he does: he adds interest whenever he shows up. That's the thing he does. He brings interest to the game. People will be fascinated just to see whether Tiger can play or not. And if you hear Tiger shooting 65, you'll turn it on. That's November 30th that he's coming back. So we'll see what happens. So Tiger's making a comeback, and we'll see what that means. I'll pop somebody on about it. Like I said, I'll get it. Brandel Chambly is the guy we'll get because he has been his severest critic by far. And he's been dead accurate about it. He came on the show and told you that Tiger's swing was not a swing he could compete with, that it was not going to work. He got a lot of grief for that, and he turned out to be 100% right. Here's the Mink Man.